contains profanity and explicit material from the outset,
which may not be suitable for children or sensitive adults.
The views expressed are made in humour and are not designed to offend.
Now
sit back and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children, welcome, welcome to what number episode is it?
Number 20.
Okay, welcome to episode number 20 of the Three Little Pigs podcast.
That just sounds like you're ill.
I fucking don't. I don't know whether it's hay fever or whether it's like real fever.
Yeah,
but,
it's sinus aids.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
fine.
feel. Yeah, say yes. I've got AIDS in my breathers. Episode 20.
Yeah, man.
We are here. It has well, I'm not going to say it because we'll sing it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's the clock has passed many minutes since the last time we recorded.
Indeed. We talked about cannibals last time, so that was but it was good. I enjoyed talking, and sky burials. So that was, if you haven't heard that one, go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watch the videos on YouTube.
Yeah, and we had a good heart to heart with one of my very close friends
Yes.
who had testicular cancer at 25. So very different. We didn't make too many jokes, made some jokes. As funny as that topic can be made.
Yeah. Where she sounded like proper interviewers.
I know.
It was
went
weird.
quite well.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it turns out my two dogs are like some of the biggest listeners of this podcast. So
Yeah.
yeah, they are.
We won't tell you why, but they are.
Oh no. Yeah. We're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
We won't tell you why. I don't mind telling the people, and by the people I mean I don't mind telling my dogs. Why they are the biggest,
You're being a good boy.
biggest listeners of this podcast. Albus, sit. See, if he hears this in like 2 weeks' time, he might sit. I think I should start. Hold on, I'm turning around because Cla is in the room. Do you think I should just randomly start throwing things like that in the podcast? Just like, yeah. So like we could. So what happens is we put the podcast on sometimes at home just to like give them some audio and make them think, oh, maybe we're home when sometimes we might not be home. Like if I'm at work or something, just give them something to listen to.
Yeah.
But we have the cameras around the house as well, so we can watch what the dogs are doing. So thinking maybe if I like just go like, Albert, stop, like that, then we could watch. Then sometimes they'll just like go, what the fuck was that?
If you
Sounds
do,
like he's
you have to
home.
try and save that video anyway. So it'll be funny as hell if we can get it
if I
going
can-
on.
Yeah, I do have a video actually. It'll be in the archive somewhere. But there was a video one time where we live now, up in yonder farm. We get a lot of bobtails going around, and one managed to get into the garden one time, and the boys were annoying it. And the older dog, he picked it up, and I don't know how the fuck he picked it up because like bobtails are normally quite like bitey.
Yeah.
And he managed to pick it up, but like lengthways. So the head of the bobtail was at one side of his mouth and the tail was at the other.
Yeah.
And he managed to pick it up. I've got no idea how. And then he dropped it, and this is all on camera. He drops it, and then he's looking at it and sniffing it, and then the bobtails obviously went, "Oh fuck it, I'll play dead." But on the I'm watching it at the time on the camera, and it's like, "Oh fuck, he's killed that bobtail, and now he's going to eat it." And I'm like at work, so I can't do anything about that. So like he's either gonna like eat this thing and then get sick and die, or he's just gonna leave it.
Yeah.
But luckily he walked away because the bobtail just stopped doing bobtail stuff because he thought, oh fuck, it's dead.
Yeah.
So then the pup wandered over. So this bobtail's just lying, playing dead, and the pup wandered over, and he started like, you know that thing that dogs do with their paws, where they just like slap
Yeah,
their paws on things, like to just like check it out. And he did this a few times, and then the bobtail kind of all of a sudden came to life and like started like it opened his mouth, and you can see it on the camera. But then Stupid Nuts, the puppy, he puts his paw near the bobtail, and it fucking snapped and grabbed his paw. And then, but in his response to that, the pup like flicked his paw, and the bobtail went fucking flying over the back of him, like up in the air. And it was like it like spanned like fucking 5 or 6 times in the air, and then landed further away in the garden.
Excellent.
So I'll need to try and find that clip. It's
Yeah,
actually
man.
quite funny. It's the description doesn't do it justice. Chloe, was that funny? Was it Cla? Was it funny? Oh yeah. Claire showed it to her colleagues at work, and they all laughed.
Excellent. Those.
So yeah. So it's funny. This is funny. How have you been, Davros?
Yeah, it's been too bad, man. I've been doing my thing. I've been pretty radio silent. Got a new job, so I'm not. I've gone away from a shift working in the middle of the night type role to Monday to Friday gentleman hours. So I've
So what actually happened was he got promoted from working the street corners, and now he's the admin lady.
Yeah, I'm been a pimp.
For the you're the admin lady for the pimp.
Ah, right, yeah. So admin, the pimp assistant.
Yeah. You make the tea for the guy that makes the coffee.
Yeah. But it pays the bill.
good.
It pays the bills, man. Like it's in there's benefits, 401k, something like that.
You see, you got to play the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, apparently.
Don't hate the hater, hate the player.
Hate everything because everybody sucks.
Yeah,
the world is burning.
Yes, it is. Oh yeah. Since the last time we recorded, the Queen died.
Yes, she did, and the King Sausage Thing just took over. So it's
Yeah, he did. And by all accounts, there was a bit of controversy at the funeral of the Queen because Prince Andrew was told that he wasn't allowed to sit at the kids' table.
That is terrible.
Keep that in.
Yeah, we can keep that in. That's fine.
Yeah, we can get. I don't even know if I'm allowed. I don't even know if I want to.
I think we should keep it in.
That's like.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Now I am now a doubting Thomas.
Hello, my name's Thomas, and I'm doubting you.
I am doubting you. My name is Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah. So what's happened? The Queen's died. Britain's had 2 prime ministers in the space of 2 months. We have a king.
Yeah, and since our last one, Ukraine decided to get invaded by Russia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. Ukraine decided to get invaded by Russia.
Yeah. Talk shit, get hit, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah. Come in, you guys. I can't do a Ukrainian accent. It's probably
fuck around and find out.
A Russian. Yeah, it'll be a Russian accent. It's the same. It's the same place.
I annex you. You come find around, fuck around and find out, my friend. But no, so that's happened. We won't make the comment we did last time about COVID because if we go, the Ukraine war's fine, don't worry about it. We'll probably get nuked tomorrow. So,
because we said everything will be fine with COVID and everything wasn't fine.
No, it's like we bought the bets in from Wuhan. It's weird. But no, so the world's a bit of an twisty-turvy place. But what I have noticed is we've had a few new listeners from the Russian Federation. So that's for Daniel.
We will spur the soldiers on. We will make
the furtavir over the border, boys.
Hey, well, I have lost all my friends and family while we invade Ukraine. However, there's a couple of guys in Australia that are really funny.
They have 3 little pigs.
You guys need to listen to this.
They talk about the Queen with sausage and sausage fingers. It's great.
Yes. So they make topical joke.
That's happened
I
4 months
wonder if-
ago.
I wonder if Mad Vlad gets us in his bunker, in his secret bunker somewhere.
I'm
'cause he's
hoping so.
Definitely in it. He's definitely in a secret bunker somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and he comes out from that large. Have you seen the table he sits at when he has meetings with people? It's like an evil villain's table, like a caricature of an evil
Like
villain's
a-
table. It's huge.
Like an evil dictator's table.
Well,
by
well,
any
hey,
chance.
hey, Fled's just a guy.
Well,
Hey,
now,
I don't want to get doxxed, so let's just.
Yeah.
But no.
Hello, is that IKEA? Yes, I want to buy one of your big evil super villain tables.
I want lots of silver platters all the way along, but only use 2 plates. Yes, that's what I want.
I wonder what type of wood it's made of. Is there some kind of like Russian native trees, perhaps?
Hold
Like
on.
trees that are so hard to like you can't even cut them down.
The Siberian fir. Native tree
Yeah.
to
Of
Russia.
Russia.
What have we got? Oh, look here. This.
Russian native tree. Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Five,
Common Russian plants and
five,
animals.
five
Look.
trees. Russian 5 trees. Russians can't get enough of. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. The what is the most famous tree in Russia? It is the white birch.
Hmm.
There you go. Ah. What is a Russian tree? So it's just trees that are native to Europe and Asia. So you probably get them all over.
Apparently, if you see a Russian hugging a tree, don't be surprised. They're most likely trying to soak up some positive energy or to heal an ailment. You can imagine that on the bloody, they've got medic, and it's just some guy we're holding a big, grab this leaf, it'll sort you out. Oh, okay, thank you, comrade.
He got shot. Give him a tree. Find a tree for him. Apparently, Russia has heaps of badgers.
Okay.
But they look like Russian. They look like what Russian badgers would look like, if that makes
I
sense.
gotta find a Russian badger now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Hold on. I will send you a snip of watch out for Russian badger. Be careful, he bite.
Oh Jesus! It doesn't look like it looks mixed between bat and fluffy ball.
Oh, hold on. I'll need to send you this on Facebook because I can't paste it into this.
Yeah.
Right. I'll fix that. He looked like a tiny bear. He
Hold
looked
on.
like a tiny bear.
Oh. You sure that's not a mongoose? No, is that a Russian badger? Is it?
No, because it says because the article directly underneath the picture, the first sentence says badgers are found wherever forest floors are soft enough for burrowing, and then sables and martens, relatives of the ferrets, prey on mice and birds, and then
See, we're learning this,
Martins
and it's
are-
not even your topic you're doing tonight. It's a
I don't
win-win.
even know this might not even be a Russian badger. I mean, it looks like what I think a Russian badger would look like.
Loves
Like
potatoes.
it looks. Das Vidanya.
Yeah,
It looks a bit harder than a regular badger.
You're well hard, mate. It's a well hard badger.
I'm fucking shitting myself.
Look the size of that fucking badger, mate. You know what I mean?
Watch it, fucking badger boys. So there we go. We started out where we're going to do a regular podcast, and now we're looking at Russian badgers.
And that's not an OnlyFans page either.
Ruski.
Russian
Rusky badgers.
badgers. The risky badger.
No, Ruski.
Rusky badger.
Oh, there's a YouTuber called the Russian Badger.
There is,
He's
yeah.
there is. What stuff's he got? How many people?
I'm pretty sure I follow him on this.
He's got fucking 4 million subscribers.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, I did not know this. I know that honey badgers are hard as fuck.
Yeah. And there's the West Australian rugby player.
Hold on. Oh no, that's a honey. Yeah, that's the honey badger. He's quite
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I've just found what I expected to find by Googling the term Russian badger. And I've just sent it to you.
Yeah, it's what I found the first time round.
Oh, yeah.
Not proof of your conduct.
This is taking a turn for the nature.
And here we have the Russian badger.
Small in size, the Russian badger can consume twice its body weight in potatoes alone.
Zyvor.
See, I would make a badger noise, but I don't even know what noise badger make. I don't know. I've never encountered a wild badger.
Are you just letting air out of a balloon?
That's me making that noise.
Yeah,
it's me myself.
Look at you go, multi-talented.
Noise.
Go.
Yeah, I can also do an elephant noise. I don't know. Did that sound like an elephant?
Yeah. And here we have the Western Scottish badger. Oh, elephant.
Actually, don't fucking talk shit. Don't chat shit. I just have you know that Scotland were the 2006 or 2007 elephant polo world champions. So don't talk shit. Legitimate. That is legit. Hold on, I'll tell you.
The elephant polo world champions.
Scotland were the Oh, sorry, I stand corrected. Scotland were the elephant polo world champions in 2005.
Oh, good year.
Apparently, the Duke of Argyll was the captain.
The fuck is going on? And why have we gone into elephant polo? For fuck's sake.
I have a cold.
This is mental.
The flu is playing with my brain.
Well, we've been in discussion on a completely side topic. We've been in discussion for the last week because I had a bit of a brain fart the other day about an idea, and this was called. It's called Original Reads. So the next couple of weeks, I'll be putting together something and putting it out on Instagram with maybe some short videos. And I'll introduce you to Reginald and what Reginald will be reading. So, yeah, I'll put something out on the socials, which is on Instagram and everywhere you find it. I'll put a request out for some information, but Reginald Reads will be coming soon, and it should be funny.
It should be good. We hope. We vibed a few. Well, what happened is Dave sent me the legit idea for Reginald Reads, and then what I did was that I said something back that was completely inappropriate.
Yep.
However, if you have any ideas for books or erotic novels, what else?
Yeah, well, Reginald reads the Quran. I can't really do that, so it's.
Oh, Reginald reads Playboy. I'm sure there'll be articles in that.
Yeah, I've been finding, as I said to my, I was going to put something on Facebook, but I'm not going to put that on Facebook. Was along the lines of, I had to explain to my wife why I'm looking up erotic fiction on Google whilst I'm sitting in bed wetting myself laughing, and
it's a perfectly normal thing. That is perfectly normal.
Yeah, but it wasn't for me. Like looking up, narrowing it down to 5-minute reads of erotic fiction is very particular, and for no other reason apart from.
I don't think we're gonna get. I'm not sure if my dogs will like that.
Well, you never know. I might have to throw a bit of a.
Yeah, well, you never know. Yeah.
Yeah, put some soft music on.
I saw this thing the other day. It was like a guy telling a joke, and he goes to his mate. He goes, knock, knock. And his mate goes, who's there? And he goes, Nazi Germany. And he goes, Nazi Germany who? And then the guy that originates the jokes slaps him in the face.
Yeah.
And he goes, we will ask the questions here.
Gestapo.
That I thought that was quite funny.
Cheeky,
It's funny.
cheeky
Yes,
Gestapo's.
Yes. Sneaky Germans.
Whoop, that was about to fall over. I in my research for my topic, which I've already sent you the script for, but I've changed it since I sent it through to you. I learned some
Yes.
bits and pieces whilst I was there. I did not realize that because we talked a little about Germany and Russia tonight, but Germany in 1742 wasn't Germany at all. It was split into like 1,000 other bloody areas. So there was me trying.
Like Bavaria and shit like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all like there was, because the Romans were still fucking around with stuff. It was all split into different bits and pieces. So it wasn't any like you couldn't go that's Germany, or like, for example, this is modern day Munich would be, but there was no Germany there. So it was very hard to try and make it go, it's somewhere in the middle of Europe.
It's actually quite an interesting country though, because when obviously there was a couple of issues between 1939 and 1945 that we tend to not discuss. But when you move forward to the 60s, 70s, 80s and stuff, especially when Germany was divided into the east and west, obviously by the wall, by the Berlin Wall. I remember watching a documentary on Rammstein.
Yeah,
when the band, very good band.
Yes,
we like Rammstein.
indeed.
If you like heavy metal or metal, you should listen to Rammstein. You probably do, no, anyway. But when they first started out as a band, I can't remember what side they lived on. Either one side was like a bit better economically than the other side, and I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
but they stay. I believe they were in the side that was a little bit economically better, but it was illegal. Well, not illegal, but they weren't allowed to, like, being a musician wasn't a job. So you weren't allowed to actually be a musician legally as an occupation prior to the wall coming down.
Yeah.
So they would be going to shows and like playing fairly big shows for, when they were starting out. But they all had like trades of some kind. Like a couple of the guys were like mechanics and carpenters. I believe Till Lindemann was an Olympic swimmer at one point.
Oh shit!
Lead singer. Yeah, he was a swimmer of some kind. But yeah, they had like legitimate like jobs, and then they had to do Rammstein at night. And it wasn't until the Berlin Wall was taken down that they were able to be musicians full time legally as a profession. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Everybody's learning today.
Yes, everybody's. This is a learning day.
Well, you're definitely going to learn something out of mine, and obviously and yours as well. But this story, my story anyway, takes a few twists and turns on its journey to the tail end. So
up the dark streets of Manhattan, I believe.
My one?
Yeah.
No,
It's not Manhattan, is it?
No, it's Munich.
It's got nothing to do with man. Oh, it's Munich. Oh,
yeah.
Oh. Wait.
Yes.
It's not about Germany between 1939 and 1945, is it?
No, we don't talk about that. It's like Voldemort.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he who shall not
be named. Indeed.
We removed those dates from the archives.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. On that note, would you like me to go first? Or would you like to go first?
Let's stick to tradition, because I've got because my topic's a bit it's like myself, it's short and sweet. There's not too much about it. Yeah,
man, fire away.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me, sorry, I'm still all fluey, and if you catch the flu from this, I do apologize. But my
spicy flu,
bird flu. My topic this evening is about an American man called Stanley Meyer. Meyer, Meyer. How would you pronounce that?
Meyer.
Okay, right. Stanley Meyer. He was an American fella. He was an inventor, and he came up with the idea, invention, patent for a water-powered fuel cell.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, as I say, there's not too much about him in total, and there's a lot about the water-powered fuel cell. that he came up with. But we'll go into a bit of his background first because he was actually quite old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Stanley Mayer, he was born on the August the 24th in 1940. He lived most of his life in the Columbus East Side area, and then he moved to a place called Grandview Heights, where he went to high school and completed his education. After his graduation, he then joined the military, and he briefly applied to the Ohio State University. But ever since he was young, he was always determined to build something new. And he also had a twin brother called Stephen, Step Hen with a PH. And so ever since he was young, he was always determined to build something new. And his twin brother Step Hen quoted, "We were always building something. We went out and created our toys."
Oh God.
So Mr. Stanley Meyer, he was the owner of many different patents, which ranged all the way from banking stuff, oceanography, and cardiac monitoring. He was a religious man. He liked a bit of God, and he would apparently credit God in some of his works as well.
Well, not named it, is it?
This is actually quite funny.
Yeah.
His favorite phrase was "Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition."
Okay.
That's not American at all.
No. Propaganda right there.
Yes, and allegedly by 1989, the Patent Office in America gave Stanley special preference due to his innovations, and most of them were usually accepted. Stanley's patents were usually put into action 8 months later after he submitted them, which was pretty quick, as apparently patenting something can take more than a year to be applied. And the Patent Office in America thought that Stanley's technologies and applications were technologically advanced and ahead of his time. And to date, Stanley Mayer applied more than 200,000 patents.
Jesus, greedy fucker.
Sorry, I need to blow my nose.
Yeah, go.
This guy needs to stop inventing stuff.
Yeah.
And
greedy prick.
and leave some stuff for the rest of us to invent. However, this is where this is why Stanley Mayer became famous. I'd like to jump back though, because I never quoted the references for this, because there's a couple of references for my very short research tonight. The website carthrottle.com and the University of Minnesota.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, look at you go.
I know. I found something on a university page. I know. This fucking, I don't know how. But the thing with Stanley Mayer is that he patented and came up with a water fuel cell. So what it was is it was a fuel cell that was a technical design of a perpetual motion machine, which he claimed an automobile retrofitted with that device could use water as the fuel instead of petrol or diesel.
Yeah.
And he claimed that his water fuel cell and the car that it, sorry, I'll start that again. So he claimed that any automobile that was retrofitted with his device could use water as fuel instead of gasoline or petrol, or diesel or chip pan fat, because apparently that worked as well at some point.
It did, yeah.
But apparently his claims that the water fuel cell and the car that it powered, they were found to be fraudulent by an Ohio court in 1996.
Oh.
So
this is relatively recent, isn't it? If he's born in 1940, he was...
I mean, fairly. Fairly. But what happened with him, though, is that he claimed way back when that he's come up with pretty much a water-powered car.
Yeah.
In short. And I found a couple of things here that actually explain how it might have worked. Now, I'm not a man of science by any means, but I've got a thing here that can I can read it out, and I'll go stage by stage because I can't really comprehend this myself. However, he claimed he's come up with this water fuel cell and he's put it in a car, and then you could power a car on water. So the water fuel cell itself were designed to take in minimal amounts of water, have an electric current run through the liquid, which divided the molecules into their respective elements, which was H and O, obviously hydrogen and oxygen. So the hydrogen atoms would be burned, followed by a release of clean emissions, meaning obviously ones that wouldn't harm the environment. And then the fuel cell was also claimed to be able to recombine the hydrogen and atoms back together into water molecules, which would then be recycled to continue to fuel the cell. So the aspect of the cell, though, allegedly is mathematically and scientifically impossible. So in 1998, Stanley Meyer went to a business meeting with his brother and 2 potential foreign investors. And now there's a couple of conflicting things about this meeting itself. These 2 foreign investors have come in. Allegedly, they were from, one source said they could have been from the tobacco trade, and another source said they were from the oil companies. But they came in and they all met and they sat there and they had some drinks. And again, one source, only one source, says apparently they were drinking cranberry juice. And Stanley was handed a glass of cranberry juice. But once he drank it, he began to violently vomit. And apparently he ran outside. And Stanley's brother, Step Hen, claims that his final words were that he'd been poisoned. And a coroner's report stated that Meyer had died due to a cerebral aneurysm. But obviously the conspiracy here is that he was actually poisoned. And that's how he died. Well, the poison actually caused that aneurysm. However, on top of that, Stanley claimed to have this car that did actually run on water, and their only evidence that's ever been known about this car was eyewitness testaments saying that they have seen the car working and seen it running on water. But again, how good they are, we do not know. But after he actually died, it is also alleged that the vehicle that he was using to show people was stolen. So some people believe that he was assassinated to suppress his invention by the oil industry. And other people believe he was just a fucking madman and it never actually worked. So back to Meyer himself, though, he'd patented this water-fueled cell.
Yeah.
Now, the majority of Meyer's patents have now expired, and his inventions are in the public domain, available for all to use without restriction or royalty. And no engine or vehicle manufacturer has ever incorporated any of his work. And I found a link to the patent online. And it's on the Google. It's on patents.google.com. And you can literally read the whole fucking explanation of how his thing
works.
How it works. So there's a small bit of text here that says, so the process steps leading to ignition. So the relative state of the water molecules and or hydrogen stroke oxygen stroke other atoms. So the first stage, the water converts to gas. So the random ambient state alignment of polar fields, polarization of molecules, molecular elongation, atom liberation by a breakdown of covalent bond.
I'm pretty sure I just gave myself a stroke.
Stage 2, gas ionization. Release of gas liquid into gas ionization, electrical charging effect, particle impact. Third stage, priming. Electromagnetic wave, laser or photon injection, electron extraction, atomic destabilization. And then final stage, ignition, thermal ignition. So this guy reckoned he could get some water, put it in a car that he made, and power the car. And then he was most likely assassinated by the oil industry for his secrets. Because apparently we're going to run out of fossil fuels by like 2050 or some shit.
Yep. We're buggered.
We are fucked. So with that, in 2009, Stanley Meyer's patent expired. And now it is free reign for anybody to access online, which I have accessed online. And me and Davros are going to try and continue his work. And if we randomly get assassinated by the oil industry, you'll know why.
Yep. Check the cranberry juice.
There we are. Stanley Meyer. He was a big dreamer. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if he did. Like, it's hard to comprehend that it's possible that he could have invented that. But again, nothing's impossible.
No.
At the same time.
So at least he died without a urinary tract infection because he had all the cranberry juice on board. So at least there's silver lining to some things, at least.
Well, that is true. That is true. It did not burn when he peed, when he died.
No.
But yes, he Oh, actually, there was a news report from an Ohio TV station where he apparently demonstrated a dune buggy that he claimed was powered by his water fuel cell. He stated that only 22 US gallons or 83 liters of water were required to travel from LA to New York. And
Jesus.
furthermore, he claimed to have replaced the spark plugs with injectors that introduced a hydrogen/oxygen mixture into the engine cylinders. The water was subjected to an electrical resonance that dissociated it into its basic atomic makeup. And the water fuel cell would then split the water into hydrogen and oxygen gas, which would then be combusted back into water vapor in a conventional internal combustion engine to produce net energy.
Huh. What you said, yeah.
Yeah. So I get. So to date, no peer-reviewed studies of Myers' devices have been published into scientific literature, and an article in the journal Nature described Myers' claims as one more water as fuel myth. So there we have it.
Well, there we go.
Is it not?
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you know what? The conspiracy theorist in me wants to believe that it was real. And he did have it. And the big oil, big pharma, big oil, BP have come there themselves and killed him.
Yeah.
By poisoning his
Well, it's not the first time. It's not the first time those sort of that level of corporation has knocked people off for whatever reason. There's talk about people around the cigarette people and sugar people, and you've watched all the documentaries especially on Netflix, got a ton of them. But people get spoken to, or people get door knocked and told to shut their mouth very, very all the time. So
what's it called? It's not commercial espionage, but it's like
it's commercial.
Like
yeah,
it is espionage, but it's there's another term for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're just fucking going, this guy claims to have invented something that could lose us millions of dollars and make him millions of dollars, so let's just go knock him off.
Yeah. Well, same thing when you look at what we go back to it again, but what the Russians will do, they'll just go and if they've got some guys talking slight shit, and all of a sudden they're dead with plutonium poisoning, and their family's dead with plutonium poisoning, and they haven't done anything, or one of them drank a cup of tea, and that's how he got deaded.
Yeah, well, you look back to the Salisbury poisonings in England in 2000, early 2010-ish.
Yeah.
What was that again? That was I was going to say kryptonite. It wasn't kryptonite. It was
Superman's been poisoned again.
No, it was.
Wasn't it ricin?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
sarin?
ricin. No, it wasn't sarin. I'll tell you. Hold on. It was Novichok. That was it. Yes, it was Novichok. But yeah, you look at you look at things like the Salisbury poisonings, and you go, I watched this documentary. It was about I can't remember exactly. I can't remember where I found it, but it was about guys that were previously. Oh no, they were. It was the prisoners in Guantanamo. And when they were released. Remember when Obama shut down Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah.
And he allegedly shut down Guantanamo Bay, and he released all the prisoners.
You mean he released the human pyramids? Yes, continue.
And they went to various countries across the world. And I want to say Russia. Somebody went to Russia. One of the guys was given asylum in Russia, but he was heavily managed by the government and the Russian Secret Service, or whatever you want to call it. And during the documentary, they're actually filming. And this guy he wasn't open to coming and talking to them about it.
Yeah.
The documentary crew, because they're filming about post Guantanamo life. Because some of it was kind of like some of the prisoners in Guantanamo at the time, were maintaining their innocence throughout, that they were there for the wrong reasons and stuff.
Yeah.
So this guy was a prisoner that maintained that he had no terrorist involvement, blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure it was Russia he was put in. And anyway, this documentary crew reached out to him and contacted him and said, yeah, look, we want to talk to you about it, blah, blah, blah. And he wasn't keen, because he was like, they're watching me. You know, they bugged my house. They've done this. I've found
Hmm.
cameras. I found this. I found that. And when you was watching it, the documentary crew are like, you know, he's reached out to us. He said this. They're like, we're not too sure how to take him. Like, is he actually being serious or not?
Yeah.
Like we don't know like what he's telling us. We're not sure. So anyway, he reluctantly meets up with them, and they make a small recording, and they have like a point of contact with him. But anyway, after they make the initial meeting with him and they film it and stuff, they lose contact with this guy for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then they managed to regain contact through like a point of contact they had in Russia,
Hmm.
that was able to, you know, find the guy and speak to him. And he comes back to them and he says, "Oh, look, you know, after we did that meeting, my house got raided, the house got bugged, they interrogating me, blah blah blah." And again, the camera crew weren't sure because the guy's quite eccentric,
Yeah.
like, you know, speaking to him. But then there's a bit, and it makes it quite believable. Like when in the documentary, they end up doing they're doing an online chat with the guy, like a, you know, like a video chat.
Hmm.
And during the video chat, there's like a loud bang, and the guy turns round, and then these fucking like Russian military guys all come storming into the house, and they didn't know it was recording. They didn't know, like, he'd had his mobile phone recording as well.
Yeah.
And so these guys are watching like the Russians come into his house live, and he's getting like flogged and all this stuff. So it's like, oh, maybe it is fucking true. Like they were like, you know, we weren't too sure about believing him to begin with, but you know, we're talking to him and his door gets kicked in by like special forces. They come in and turn the place upside down, and then guys in suits come in and are talking to him, and it's like, fuck. Maybe
Yeah.
this shit did happen. And it's the
Mhm.
same with, you know, Stanley Mayer. Like maybe he genuinely did invent that, and he was genuinely knocked off.
Yeah. And the last little bit that he had may have that little meeting may have just been enough to them to verify that he was real and he's good to go, and then just get popped off.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen the movies, we've seen the TV shows, you know, spooks within governments are very real.
Mm-hmm.
They could come and visit us if they'd like, because, you know, then we'd know. And then they could come on the podcast.
That's right.
And yeah, and we hope that they are listening and enjoying themselves listening to the content. It's nice to get views in. We should watch how have our views gone down? Like, that's not possible.
Yeah, that's right. Why has my bank account been drained? This is weird.
So yeah, Stanley Mayer,
Excellent.
American inventor, possibly executed.
I like
Definitely executed. Invented a water-powered car. So anyway, because I've got heaps of garage space, and I've now got the patents, me and Davros are going to go and try and invent this now.
it. Yep. I'm
I reckon
keen.
we could. I reckon I'll need to buy a couple of spanners.
Yep. And screwdriver, at least one. Flathead.
I've got one flathead.
Yeah, I might have to get a Phillips just for shits and gigs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But there was talking about magnetic waves and was it nuclear something? I'm like,
No, nothing nuclear. Nothing nuclear. It
No,
was,
yeah, do that one of your little bloody fever dreams you just talked about the how to put it together. I have to read the patent myself shortly to see what I was. But yeah, there's electromagnetic wave. At least.
Hold on, I'll go back. Because it wasn't electrical resonance. Oh yeah, no, that was it. The water was subjected to an electrical resonance that disassociated it into its basic atomic makeup.
Ah, there you go.
So it split it. It split it into hydrogen, oxygen gas.
Yeah, so it feeds off the gas as opposed to
Yeah. I mean, do you know, technically, all he's done is reworded the steam engine. Because that's really all he's done. Just the way they made the steam was with the coal.
Yeah. But he's able to use the hydrogen or one part of it to burn and therefore cause a combustion. Yeah. Well, there we go.
But there we go. Stanley Mayer. It was a short topic, but you know, interesting.
Yeah, short but powerful. Did you want me to go on to my one? If you're happy for me to punch on, it's a short one. I said it's probably very similar, but again, as like everything, we feed off the topic anyway. So, all right.
Let's go.
Okay. To get into the headspace for the story, I want you to take yourself to what is now modern day Munich, but this is in 1742. Think literally nothing to do, dead by 30, and plenty of religion to fuck with proceedings. Now, when we think of nuns, we normally think of the Nazi-loving Maria from Sound of Music getting up shenanigans with the Von Trapp family. Well, this story of nuns in Germany is far from that. My story takes us, and therefore you, to the Hohenhort Monastery, and it's 1742. 'Twas a cracker of a year. Well, this would have hit the headlines in the local paper. Local nun, Sister Josephine Rosenthal, has become pregnant. And I know what you, shock and horror.
Oh, gosh.
And I know what you're thinking.
She's a witch.
Burn up. And I know what you're thinking. We've all seen the documentaries about nuns and their dodgy habits. See that? I see it's a double entendre joke. It's like to throw that to entendre.
Yes.
We've got habits, is because they wear it, and documentaries with nuns where we'll say, see.
That's good, because I completely forgot that that's what it was called.
Yeah, what they wear habits.
That's good.
You thought I was talking about documentaries, aka adult films where nuns get up to nefarious activities. No. Okay, on with the story. Well, the nunnery was entirely cut off from local villages. So Josephine was examined as a result, and she was declared that she was a virgin, and also, in all intents and purposes, should be unable to be with child. So they have no access to anything, but what they did have access to was the abbot. Was the only person who was obviously the minder for the nuns. Now, this examination of young Josephine, I can guarantee you, wasn't a pleasant process. And so I'll let you use your imagination for a 1742 medical examination of a nun. By this time, her story had reached the ears of the abbot, and she was brought before the Council of Benedict. So think of a whole bunch of old dudes with a penance for the younger generation. Anyway, when she was
a penance for Jesus.
Penance for Jesus and kids. When she was examined again, she was then examined again, and was declared that Josephine had undergone immaculate conception, a virgin birth. And remember, there's no funnery in the nunnery, allegedly. So yay, title. Despite,
hold on, before we go, because you said there's no funnery in the nunnery. I have a nun joke.
Go.
This was actually told me by my auntie, Richie's mother. So imagine a nunnery, right? There's set the scene. There's a nunnery, and all the nuns are sitting there, and the head nun, I don't know what you would call her.
That's Mother Superior. Yep.
Yeah, Mother Superior walks in, and she says, "Sisters, I've got some grave news for you all." She says, so I don't know how to explain this, but or how to say this, but as once I do, I sure as hell I will be wanting an explanation. She says, "Sisters, there's a case of syphilis in the nunnery." And they're all gasping, shocking, they're all shocked. And one sister stands up and she goes, "Oh, thank Christ for that. I was getting sick of that Pinot Grigio." Do you get it? Because
it's a case of wine versus
wine. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt with a terrible sex nun joke.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Despite attempts.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I'm sorry, Jesus.
Jesus, he steals hubcaps from cars. Despite attempts.
Yeah. Okay. Right. No. Yeah. Go on.
Despite attempts to quell the popularity of the story, Father Eric from the Benedict Council soon agreed that this holy of events should be seen as a good sign, and Josephine was moved from her sterile nunnery to a chapel where she could be prayed for. I'm not sure if it's an upgrade, but hey, it could be a nice change. And when the child was born, the child will be visited by a local bishop. Don't know who he is, could be anybody, where appropriate rites would be carried out, because this child would be, in essence, the second coming. It was an auspicious moment for the monastery, which was founded in 1074, which is a fucking long time ago.
Long while ago.
It was a fucking couple of beers ago.
Heaps ago.
And built by the last nobles in the area, who were also buried on the grounds. So you wouldn't want to dig a garden in. Josephine had been born in the nunnery and lived an orthodox existence, and her only contact with men was the abbot, although her lifestyle was scrutinized for any lapse in faith. We've all seen those documentaries. Well, Josephine, hey, oh dear, Father, Father priest man. Anyway, Josephine gave birth to a girl in the 8th month of her pregnancy, and she died. Once the child was, that's it. Is the story.
She died.
She died. She died once the child was removed from her due to loss of blood and child. The baby was a little underweight, but she soon recovered from the traumatic birth. She was christened Maria and welcomed eagerly by the nuns. And see, like I've managed to throw another Sound of Music reference in there again, because Maria was the nun for that one.
I thought you were gonna go on to say her name was Maria and she was welcomed by the nuns, and she went on to be great singer pop star Cher.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Cher is old as
time.
Cher is old as fuck.
Yeah, and she still sounds the same and looks the same. It's like she's had surgery or something.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she wouldn't be going skiing down the mountain because that fucked her last husband. Anywho,
we're getting sued.
We're getting so sued by Chastity Bono. This young Maria was not welcomed by the Council of Benedict, so they're dicks. The female.
Wait a minute. Cher had a fucking song called Maria.
Did she?
Maria, you gotta see her. You gotta have. I'm fucking telling you, she did.
All right.
She fucking did.
Great.
Oh, just bringing me Mariah Carey songs. Cher song Maria. Oh no, it wasn't Cher. It was Blondie. I'm sorry. I was close.
Oh, down the fucking rabbit hole. Jesus Christ.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm going home.
How long have we got left on this thing? 5 minutes, heaps of time.
Heaps of time. Okay, continue.
A female born of immaculate conception was attested and scorned, and a few saw Josephine as a vessel of the second coming of Christ, and yet the sex of the child did not bode well for this prediction. So a female version of the immaculate conception is not a good omen. It's only the males, apparently.
You're not allowed a lady.
Yeah,
no ladies.
Don't have the lady bits, but this will become relevant very shortly. Abbot Eric was asked to tell his congregation that the child had died, and he was saddened by this, yet he agreed, I will do it. The nuns who looked after young Maria ignored the ruling, and they deified the child as she grew and attracted a loyal following. The holy congregation of Maria drew a formidable crowd. Jesus, sounds like it's got bloody cross over the border, and she became an inspiration to the locals and transformed other Benedictine communities. So she was going against the fold. She was frowned upon by the higher echelons of the church, who denounced her holiness and declared the worship of her as heresy.
Heresy! Heresy! She's not touching little boys. Heresy! She must be the devil.
But despite this, her church, the Church O Maria, prospered, and she wrote 2 religious papers during her lifetime, and only a fragment of which still remains. So these papers she wrote were about early chats about feminism and the fact of that females were part for the Bible part. They were condemned during the Great Temptation with Eve and Adam and Eve. How it was the females' fault. Anyway. Yeah, so it dealt with the original sin, the condemnation of the female. She pleaded with the church for revisions of the Bible, but yet her words fell on deaf ears. It was very woke for the late 1700s Central Europe. So around her 33rd birthday, Maria fell ill. It wasn't COVID. The condition could not be identified, and it was agreed among her followers that her death signified the second death of the holy progeny. Just as Christ had died around the same age, so would she. The male-dominated church disputed everything that she had offered, and yet the congregation of Maria ignored these refusals, and after Maria's death began to idolize and worship her remains. Ooh, yuck. Because it's not going to be like a sky burial like we've talked about before, because that'll be gross. The Church of Maria no longer stands, but a number of items still do exist. Kept safe by the Hohenwart Monastery long after it had been dissolved and left to the women as an independent convent. The lasting remains of Maria Rosenthal were moved from generation to generation until 1905, when they were examined again. Within a small wooden box were 4 items of significance: the preserved front portion of her skull and face, gross, a vial of her blood held within a glass vessel, that's very MGK and whatever that other bird's name is.
It's probably a very like jelly. No.
Yeah, and within a gold leaf case, a lock of her hair and a fragment of her second religious writing. Now, the blood and skin have been analyzed and found to contain a unique genetic trait, and not until the 1950s were these attributed to a rare lineage. Right, are you ready for it?
Yes.
The blood work showed that both Maria and her mother Josephine had been hermaphrodites, and as such, they were able to spontaneously self-impregnate and give birth to children, although the condition would eventually kill them both. It was agreed that Maria had been with child when she died at age 33. The remains exist today, along with the cross of Maria and her own rosary. So both of them self-impregnated themselves. So that's why they had both bits.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and she did.
And she did. And she died.
The first account of self-fertilization in history is ascribed to Juanita Francisquela, a Spanish street artist also known as the Bearded Woman of Castilla, who in 1483 is said to have given birth to a child of her own conception. The birth was judged heretical by the Spanish Inquisition, and we know those guys like to do things the right way, and she was burned at the stake with her child. So
they are very nice.
Yeah. So now you know what I know. The research, we do the research, so you don't have to. That was my story about Maria and Josephine Rosenthal.
No, that was good, man. That was good. I like the nun stuff. It was more interesting than my stuff.
Oh, no. I said I've heard about the water car guy, but I didn't know what the particulars were. And I didn't realize that the crazy bastard had done 200,000 patents in his bloody...
Yeah, I know, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? I mean, that's like, I don't even have my phone with me, but like, that's one a day at least for how many years?
So if we look at the patents for it, what he's doing now, so
200,000, like divide that by 365.
That's 547.
So he would have to come up with 547 patents a day to do that in 1 year. So, like, how many?
No wonder he got assassinated. He's this fucking loser.
Yeah. How the fuck did he come up with that much shit?
Save it for the rest of us, you prick.
I know. Let someone else discover something. Apparently, Scotland's invented quite a lot of stuff. Well, in fact, we have invented quite a lot of stuff.
Iron brew, haggis, the bag pipe.
No, actually, bagpipes wasn't us.
Who is that?
Scandinavians originally.
Oh, well, there you go.
Hold on, because I will go, because there was a thing. It was on QI, and it was like
For those listening, QI's a talk show where they answer smart people questions. Yeah.
Yeah. But they normally get comedians on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fuck. Right, I'm gonna read some of these out. Right, okay. So Scottish inventions and discoveries. Right, this is just the Wikipedia page about things we've invented and or discovered. Pretty much. I don't know how you pronounce it. Oh, macadamized roads. So pretty much tarmac. The pedal bicycle, the pneumatic tire, the overhead valve engine, tubular steel, the patent slip for docking vessels, Dock design improvements, crane design
Docking.
improvements, blah blah blah. Condensing steam engine, thermodynamic cycle, coal gas lighting, the Stirling heat engine, carbon brushes for dynamos, the Clerk cycle gas engine, the wave powered electricity generator, the Palamas wave energy converter. We built Europe's first passenger steamboat. We built the first iron-hauled steamship. We built the first practical screw propeller.
A few hours later.
Hollow pipe drainage. The Scotch plough. The
Isn't that something else? That's a
Scotch
that's-
plough. Yeah. What else? The
We did-
telephone. We
Mhm.
came up with roller printing, the adhesive postage stamp. The BBC, we came up with that. Radar, Scotland came up with radar. The ATM and the personal identification number system.
Mhm.
Apparently, we also came out with the first edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, the first English textbook on surgery.
and pad thai.
The first ever postcards. According to the culture and the arts, Scotland came up with gospel music.
Okay. I'm not gonna wade into that topic at all.
we also came up with, this is scientific innovations.
One eternity later.
Apparently, we also discovered the incandescent light bulb, chemical fingerprinting. Sir William Ramsay discovered the noble gases. Apparently, the chainsaw was invented by surgeons John Aitken and James Jeffrey for widening the birth canal during difficult childbirth.
What?
The GCS, the Glasgow Coma Scale.
Oh yeah, of course that's the level of unconsciousness, isn't it?
Yes, after a head injury. Yep.
Yep.
There's the GCS, which is the Glasgow Coma Scale.
Yeah.
But then there's something that comes after it, which is the Glasgow Outcome Scale, which is a diagnostic tool for patients with brain injuries.
And those are both quite prominent on a Friday night, with the Glasgow Coma
Yeah.
Scale being more than a few pints of tenants.
Fucking no way. There's more stuff. There's the Glasgow Anxiety Scale and the Glasgow Depression Scale.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
The Glasgow.
Anxiety Scale. And then the Glasgow Depression Scale, which is the first accurate self-report scale to measure the levels of depression in people with learning disabilities.
The gas ID.
2,000 years later.
A cotton reel thread, lime cordial, Bovril beef extract, the electric clock, chemical telegraph, and iron brew.
There you go. I just realised that
There's
yeah.
a lot more. There's a
Jesus.
shit lot more. Yep.
I found the Glasgow Depression Scale.
Yeah.
In the last week, have you felt sad? Have you been in a bad mood? Have you enjoyed doing things? Have you enjoyed talking and being with people? Have you had a bath or shower or change your clothes? Have you cried? Have you felt people don't like you? Have you been able to concentrate, such as watch TV? Have you found it hard to choose things? Have you wished you were dead?
Is this a one answer question?
No, it literally gives you prompts. It gives you no, sometimes a lot. So, for example, in the last week, have you enjoyed doing things? And the prompt is, have you had fun? And what's the other one? Have you had a bath or shower or change your clothes? And the prompt for that is, have you taken care of the way you look or your appearance? Have you felt that you're a horrible person? Do you worry a lot? Do you worry about being ill? Do you worry about dying? There's how many questions? 27 questions. Do you panic all the time? Do you have to wee more often?
Is that actually one of the questions?
Yep. Does your heart beat fast? Do you get hot and sweat? Hold on, you can just write. Do you get hot and sweaty? Let's put the other questions.
Oh, wow.
And the prompt for that is all hot and bothered.
All hot, no sweat.
Yeah.
Or all sweat, no hot.
Yeah. Are you scared of busy places or crowds? And the prompt for that is such as Westfield or supermarkets.
Or Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Oh, that's funny.
Are you scared of dogs? Would you stroke one?
Yes.
Are you scared of spiders? Would you touch
No.
one? Are you scared of
No.
going to the doctors or dentist? Would you go if you needed to?
Yes. Am I depressed?
Yeah,
Or
I
is
don't. I'm not sure yet.
what does petting dogs have to do with depression?
Stroking dogs apparently.
Oh.
Or if you got this, if they mix this up, are you scared of dogs and would you get in one? No, that's right. Do you feel scared in lifts? Do you feel scared when you're in high places? Do you like multi-storied car parking buildings?
What the fuck? Do you want to go to the top of said multi-story car park?
Have you felt like jumping off? Would you like to be in one? No, that's the wrong question, wrong prompt.
Fucking no way, right? I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah, right.
I'm looking at the miscellaneous inventions thing, and apparently one of the things that Scotland came up with was the industrialization and the modernization of Japan.
Fuck.
How the fuck did we make Japan?
You've probably got. Hold on, but they were all samurai way before. I don't know how long Scotland. That's
allegedly it was a guy called Thomas Blake Glover, who was a Scottish merchant in the Bakumatsu and Meiji period in Japan. There you go.
Well, there you go.
Scotland also came up with the Bank of England, the Bank of France, Grand Theft Auto, Color Photography, the New York Herald, Forbes magazine, and finally fried chicken.
Wow, you guys invented a lot.
We have invented a shitload. Let's go and have a look at your country, people. Now that we're on a roll. So would it be New Zealand impressions?
Impressions?
Yeah,
I can do impressions.
Yeah, I know you can do it. New Zealand inventions. Here we go. All right, list of New Zealand. I've got a New Zealand inventors.
I've got 11.
It's a small page. It's a small page. You've done some stuff. So we've got you developed an improved sheep shearing technique.
Of course we did.
Somebody, John Britton, designed the Britton motorcycle.
Yes.
Apparently you were refrigerated shipping pioneers. Morton Coots invented the revolutionary continuous fermentation method of brewing.
Well, there you go.
And Bill Gallagher developed the electric fence. A.J. Hackett was the creator of commercial bungee jumping.
Yep, I know that much.
Bill Hamilton developed the modern jet boat.
Of course.
Yeah, if you look at the Wikipedia page for fucking for Scotland is ridiculous. The stuff they come up with. Sorry, we come up with.
I'm taking credit for it. It's a we.
Absolutely. The fact we came up with the Bank of England.
Yeah, well, and lime cordial. The entire thing is just
of all things. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, lime cordial.
Oh, so what it was is so she came up with a sweetened concentrated fruit juice, which she patented in 1867, and it was the world's first commercially produced fruit concentrate juice. So so there you go. That makes sense. She was the first one to do it.
Can I tell a joke about a citrus joke?
Yes.
My teacher told me not to worry about spelling because in the future there would be autocorrect, and for that I'm internally grateful.
You know the ghillie suit?
Yeah.
Apparently we came up with that as well.
Is there anything you didn't come up with?
The Bank of Ireland. We didn't come up with that.
But Bank of England, Bank of France, the whole of black culture, and the Quran.
And fried.
And fried chicken.
And Forbes the magazine.
Jesus.
General anesthetic.
And lime cordial.
Lime cordial. Yeah. There's there's peaks and troughs of these things.
How did we get down this rabbit hole? I can't remember how this started.
Because I don't know. I've lost it. But that's a good another 20 minutes on the podcast.
Yeah, man. You could go into everything. And then you could deep dive into how people found out about how she made lime cordial in 1847.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure how Scotland came up with the Bank of England. I think you guys should have a bank and put all your money in it. I
internet.
actually know. I've heard what's it called? An urban myth, an urban legend. Because golf, like, is a weird name. So why
Yes.
do we call it golf? Well, apparently, and it's an urban legend. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently the original meaning of golf was gentlemen only, ladies forbidden.
Oh,
Allegedly, I don't know if it's true, but that's just an alleged thing. So yeah, episode 20.
Number
Oh,
20.
actually, I forgot because I remembered, then I forgot, and then I remembered, and then forgot again. But now I've remembered for the third time. We need to address the elephant in the room. There's only two of us tonight.
yes.
And we haven't addressed that. Gooseman's working, so this was like one of the few opportunities because I'm still on shifts, and Davros is doing he's doing his Monday Friday thing. So yeah, it's making it a bit more difficult to get all three of us together. So
yeah,
there's only two of us tonight. Goose wishes he could be here, but he is not here because he's working. That sucks balls. So yeah.
But we'll have him on the next one, and because obviously we're going to try.
Yes.
I said we keep saying, but try and get more done. But it's a matter of just fitting it in with our busy schedules. But we'll try and put some funnies out as we can. And we'll talk about, we talked about regional reads and a couple other things in the pipeline, and we've been invited to be a guest on a couple more shows. So we'll try and get onto those if we can't do a full episode ourselves. So things are still in the pipeline working. So watch the space.
And I liked how you said our busy arse schedules, because that means two things. Is it busy arse schedules, or is it our busy arse schedules?
It's definitely an arse schedule. It's
it's busy. It is busy.
At least 2 to 3 times a day on the regular. Yep.
Yeah, if you drink coffee, it's more. Okay. Shall we make like a Christmas present and wrap this up?
Sounds fucking fabulous to me.
You like that? You like that? That was good.
I like it.
That was a little Christmas joke for those who like Christmas when it's not Christmas. You're fucking weird.
That's all, folks.